I want to be great at painting, but I didn't get serious about it until 2022. I knew that if I wanted to be great, I had to put in my reps, doing my work, and starting to create a collection. Because of this, for the next 3 years, I'm dedicating my life to making the best art that I can be to improve my skills, to being on the path of mastery. I am my own patron. I have a full-time job, and I support my art habit by going to work. Because I have chosen that way of attacking the problem, that comes with some constraints, mainly that I have less time. When I was first starting, I wasn't happy with my output. I just wasn't getting enough paintings done, even though my life felt like it was going in a good direction. And so I knew I had to change. So for the last 250 days, I have painted for at least 1 hour on live stream every single day. I wanted to get into a habit of sitting down and doing my work regardless of anything else that was happening. And I wanted to get to a point that if I have to quit in 3 years because this is not working out financially or whatever reason, I just want to know that I tried my hardest and did my best. Along the way, I've learned some lessons, some good, some bad, and some I'm not sure what to think of. Let's go through them. Don't judge the day before it happens. I believe I knew this before. This wasn't a revelation, but it's something that this project has really hit home, is that you don't judge the day before it happens. Your most productive, your best painting days are not going to be on the days where you feel the best mentally or physically. Because I'm choosing to stay disciplined and staying on a routine, I am going to paint regardless of how I feel. And I've been pleasantly surprised to find out that the days where I'm feeling my best versus the days where I'm feeling the worst do not correlate to the days that I have my best painting days. Sometimes you've done all of the work on a painting and you've brought it up to a good spot where there's pretty much no choice that you can have a bad day on that painting. There's other times where, for reasons X, Y, and Z, stuff just does not go that well. Before I started this, I would only paint on the days when I thought that I had enough time to work on stuff. But now that I've stayed on the path of just showing up regardless of how I feel, independent from that, I've made my best work. And I can't help but wonder how many good days of painting that I might have missed if I just chose to paint when I felt like it or when I felt inspired to do so. Mindset is key. What I think about this project is that it is excessive. I think that for most people, they don't need to paint every single day or do their craft every single day. But the key to doing this is mindset. I've never looked at this like it was a burden to do. I never looked at this like I had to paint that day. Sure, there were some days where it felt like I had to, but I never looked at it emotionally like that. Like I was voluntarily stepping up to this challenge. I've put a lot of things in place in my life. I have a low-cost lifestyle so that I can chase this opportunity. And so when the time comes to actually do it, I feel good about it. Yeah, I never looked at it as a burden. I always just looked at it like I was obligated to myself, to what I want to accomplish. I feel that I'm obligated to the feeling that I have inside me, that I have the potential to be great. I feel that I'm obligated to that, to see that out. And I think that for me, that means doing a lot of work, making the correct sacrifices. And in general, not having it feel like something that was dragging me down. This is something that's building me up, and I have to put in the work to get to where I want to go. This is a selfish project. I think the realization of this one actually hurts my feelings a little bit because I wish I could just be a quote-unquote normie, but this is a very selfish project. I don't think that I have any regrets about doing it, but you have to understand that this is something that is for me. And that means that I say no to family, I say no to friends, I say no to doing stuff that I don't think is as important as doing my art. And when it comes down to it, because I have a full-time job, pretty much everything is not as important. I'm a big UFC fan. I went and watched the UFC when it was in Vancouver last year. I went and saw my favorite band in concert. And other than that, I really haven't done that much though. Some people have made the comment to me that you have to live your life. And I agree with that, but I don't think that necessarily means going out all the time. To me, that doesn't mean that. I'm on a journey inward, but because that journey is inward, it's inherently selfish because other people will never, they might outwardly see some changes, but they're never going to experience the internal satisfaction, the sense of eudaimonia that you may experience from going down the path to mastery, the path to excellence. I don't expect people to empathize with this point. It just is what it is. Right now, this is an expensive hobby. I follow a bunch of art YouTubers on here, and one of my YouTube friends, Katie Orrs, made a video about how YouTube and painting has just been an expensive hobby for her. It hasn't been a fruitful endeavor financially. And this is very much the same way for me. I felt very much aligned with when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, you're preaching to the choir. I am seeing these next 3 years for me very much as though I'm going to school. And if I can recover my expenses along the way, that is awesome. If I can make money, that is much preferable. But I understand that right now that I could be making more money doing other things. And that's just the path that I've chosen to walk down. I don't think that it's good. I don't think it's bad. I think that sometimes for some businesses, for some things, especially when you're trying to gain skills, trying to gain technical knowledge about doing things, some of those things have a long ramp to where they become profitable. It can't go on forever, but I knew that this is where I was at. But it's definitely something that I've been thinking about, is that this is just an expensive hobby for now. Hopefully not forever. This can be worth it, but only if you choose it for yourself. When you tell people that you're doing something every day, for most people, that's extreme. Extreme, that's excessive. When you tell people you've been doing stuff for 250 days, that sounds extreme. When I get to doing a year, people are gonna think that's extreme. If they knew that I was actually trying to get to 1,000 days or longer, they would not want to sign up for it. There is a certain type of person, there's a certain type of personality who that type of challenge sounds like a lot of fun. And I think that for those people, stepping up to that sort of challenge can be worth it. But this has to be something that you can choose for yourself. There's lots of people that think they have to make art every day or paint every day. Like, that's a nice conception that they have in their mind. They're like, oh, I would like to be the type of person that does that. But if you're choosing it to do it because you saw me do it or you saw someone else do it, that's just a recipe for burnout and disaster. You have to choose this for yourself. There has to be some sort of intrinsic motivation for why you want to do it. I think most people would be better off doing something for an hour a day, 2 or 3 times a week, and just sticking to that commitment. I do think it's important to pick some sort of commitment and to honor it, and there's going to be different seasons of your life where you're able to do stuff more or less. I think that doing something every day for a long stretch of time is excessive for most people, but I am not most people. I'm trying to be the best that I can be. I'm trying to get to the tippy top of my potential, and I'm willing to do a lot of stuff to get there. Critical in the moment versus long-term belief. So I'm not quite sure what the resolution that I made to on this one is. This is just a thought that I had. I don't have a conclusion to it, but I'm quite negative when I talk to myself. I think that's one of the things that some of the people who watch my streams have been saying, is that, like, they say that I'm negative to myself because if something sucks, I just say, oh, this sucks. I'm pretty sure I don't say I suck, but I think that's what people hear. If I'm making a painting and I say this sucks, that's what people hear, is that they think that I'm beating myself up or something. I'm not, though. You have to be able to see reality clearly for what it is and not for what you want it to be, especially if you're trying to become great, become excellent at something. Most everything that you do is not going to be excellent. Excellence comes from the struggle, from staying at something for a long time. It comes from experience. And so it would be silly, arrogant, misleading to do something and then say, oh, this is excellent. This might be good for where you're at now, but for where you want to be going to, for your final destination, this is the start. This is a blip. This is nothing. This sucks. I never internalize my negative talk with my soul, with my personality. That's not who I am. I can be detached from saying something is not good, because the reverse of that is also when something is going well and when something is good, I say, damn, this is awesome. This looks really good. Wow, she looks like alive. Part of the reason why I'm so negative to myself, or why it sounds that way, I guess, is because I'm critical in the moment, but I have an unwavering, probably egotistical and a little delusional belief in myself that I have greatness in me. I have the potential in me to be great. As long as I stay mentally and physically healthy and I keep on working, I feel that I can get to a spot where I want to go. Maybe the ceiling of where I want to get to is a little bit lower because I started at 34 instead of just painting my entire life. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I'm just going to keep going. I still think it's going to be pretty high. But because I have that long-term belief in myself that I'm going to get to where I want to go, I don't beat myself up on the negative. So I don't think it's as bad as some people have been pointing out. I just don't think they understand where I'm coming from, that I'm not personalizing my words. I'm not taking that into my soul. Rule the day, rule your life. If you want to be a writer, you need to start writing. If you want to get in shape, you have to start working out. If you want to be a painter, you have to start painting. How do you get to be a painter? You paint. When do you start painting? Today. When's the next time you're going to work on your painting? Tomorrow. Maybe not literally tomorrow, but you get the thing. That if you start to walk down a path and you start to do those things, eventually you become that thing. If you want to get into better shape, you start working out. Over the next coming days, weeks, and months, all of those little daily actions of you making good choice, better choices eating, better choices working out. You learn how to work out harder. You learn how to work out more effectively. You change your friends group so that it's more people who are lifting up and inspiring you versus people that were dragging you down. All of those choices add up over a long time span to change your life. But it all comes down to those days, the days where you might not see the needle moving at all. They all add up to a big increase over time. You need to get through today. You need to get through to this moment. And if you can conquer the moment, if you can conquer the day, then you'll conquer your life. Just because you make good choices doesn't necessarily mean you'll have good results, which is a tough lesson in life to learn. But all of those good choices compounding on top of each other will push you in a direction of where you want to go. The reversal of this is that if you kick the can down the road, if you always say, tomorrow I will start that project, that also quickly leads to a different destination. One road to heaven, one road to hell. You choose with what you do today. I don't know any other way to be. I've always admired the hard chargers, and I want to be a hard charger. I want to be someone that's chasing excellence. In Eiji Yoshikawa's novel Musashi, about the famed samurai Musashi, he goes around Japan fighting people, and every so often he encounters someone who is on the way. There's a quote from Musashi, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you see the way, you can see it in all things. And there's certain times in the book where someone's perfecting their craft, and Musashi can sense the spirit of excellence in them. And I admire people who I sense that spirit in. They don't have to be painters. They can be other creatives. They can be anyone. It's just anyone who I feel is just, I love that spirit. And I don't think that I know any other way to be. There's lots of people who are happy with a 9-to-5, white picket fence, work for the weekend, go golfing every weekend, watch every single local sports event that there is, go to the bar with the same people. That shit would destroy me. That shit would make me so unhappy. I'm pretty sure I would just drink myself to death. But I admire the hard chargers. There's a bunch of ultramarathon people, and when I see them doing their ultramarathons, I love that. I love the spirit. I love they're doing it. I hate running. There's no way that I want to do I don't even want to do 5K. There's something about the ultramarathoners' spirit, drive, their determination that I strongly admire. Just a man or woman out there battling their demons, sharpening their skills. Like, I love that. I love the endurance aspect to it. I love the whole thing. And I think that this project of painting every day, I think that I have a wide range of skills, and this is putting all of those skills to the test. I'm going to get better at painting. I'm going to get better at making videos. And I can do the endurance of doing those 1,000 days. I want to do 1,000 days of painting and doing the live streams. God willing that I remain healthy and don't get any accidents or anything during that time. But I'm going to do everything in my power to make it to 1,000 days. When I very first started doing the live stream every single day, I didn't think that that's where I was going to go. Like, when I did the first one and I called it Making Art Every Day Till I Break, that's not what I was thinking, that I was going to possibly do 1,000 days. But within the first couple of days, I was like, oh no, I think I'm going to do 1,000. I was just very confident. And I don't know where that came. It just seemed like an excessive even number, to be perfectly honest. And it also was, I was kind of thinking that I needed to paint for like 3 years to get good at painting, and that would basically be 3 years from when I first started. So I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere, but it definitely wasn't planned. But now that I'm walking down this, I don't know any other way to be. Sometimes when people tell me they don't know how I can do it every day, I don't even know what to tell them. Because honestly, this whole thing so far has been a breeze for me. There's been days where I didn't feel good. There's been days where I had to go to the doctor and stuff. Stuff happens, medical, whatever. But I just always showed up. It was never an option to not show up. Yeah, it was never an option to not show up. There was never a day where I was even close to breaking emotionally. There was times when I got in late and I was very tired. I thought I was gonna fall asleep, or I didn't really have anything to work on. Like, there was those types of days, but there was never the type of day where I was gonna give up. Like the urge to quit never even whispered to me yet. So I don't know. I think that I have a lot of skills and a lot of things about my temperament, my personality, that I think I've chosen a good thing to do. I've chosen something that works with who I am. And I don't even know any other way to be. I feel that overall things in my life are going well right now. I feel that I'm walking down the path. My skills are improving. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. And it's neat, and I'm happy. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And I would like to encourage you to don't make art every day. You don't have to do live streams every day. Just do your thing and keep going.